Hey, girl, hey. Welcome back to my weekly podcast, Taste of Taylor. I'm Taylor, and joining me today is Des Bishop back again, baby.
Be yourself, Taylor. Come on. Don't be exaggerating.
You are many things to me, okay? You are one of my best friend's husbands, Hannah
Right.
Berner's husband.
Yes.
You are the man my wife might become straight for.
Oh, this is a reason for this.
Literally, we were here for the 4th.
I'm on a good run from compliments from lesbians.
We were here for the 4th, and she was like, I don't even know what she said. You tell me. She did this behind my back, that sneaky slut.
She put her hands on my face. She was intoxicated.
That just is. So
I want to put on the record that she was intoxicated. She put her hands on my face, and she said, "You have the most symmetrical face I've ever seen."
And now you're my mortal enemy. She's obsessed with faces.
I did what all Irish people do during a compliment. I was like, "What, are you kidding me? Look, my jaw is not perfectly even. What are you talking about? Are you kidding me?" And then she was like, "No, look at my eyebrow." So
she's obsessed. She don't
look
even look
at
at her
my eyebrow. Look, you see the way it's dropped a bit?
She's obsessed with her eye droop. That doesn't exist. Her phantom droop. And guess what? My dad's an eye surgeon. And also, like, he dabbles in plastics around the eye.
Okay.
So you can't talk to a man that likes plastic surgery about something and not feel worse about yourself. So she'd be like, "Dr. Strecker, can you we call him Chippy, but whatever, Dr. Chippy." And she's like, can you fix this? My dad's like, "Yeah, I can fix that. Like, what do you mean, the droop in your eye?" And I'm like, "Dad, please stop enabling this."
Well, the thing is once you open that can of worms, I know that I don't have a symmetrical. I know when I look that I have a thing going on in my chin that always bugs me a touch. But we're talking I lived a good 2/3 of my life before I ever noticed that. Honestly, that's the problem with the phone. I'm sure you've had this conversation 1,000 times.
It's true.
You do become just acutely aware
Yes.
of two things: one, any imperfections on your face, and two, how lighting is a liar. In that you could just look amazing or terrible all based on lighting.
I agree. I'm pumping you up, Des.
Oh, you're turning me up because I'm not keeping the mic close enough.
You're not keeping the mic close enough.
Well, because I'm a popper.
Okay, I'm gonna. You promise me you're gonna keep that mic close?
All right, I'll keep it on my chin.
Okay. Oh yeah, and it's twofer. It's a BOGO.
Yeah, I keep it on my uneven chin, so it'll block any imperfections on my face.
Exactly. So the sound quality is perfection, and then also your chin is covered.
Yeah. Now Hannah's very anti face enhancement.
Yes.
And I've never done it, but I always joke with her that we will eventually do it.
Wait, Des, speaking of BOGO, I want a facelift. Not that you need one, but you want to get a facelift with me?
Well, Barbara Corcoran told Hannah you should get a facelift every 10 years.
And Barbara knows best.
And my dad never got one, but my dad always wanted one.
Oh.
My dad was so vain, by the way. We'd watch The Price is Right, and he'd be like, "This guy had a facelift, man. You can't keep your face that tight at his age." My dad had facelift envy on Bob Barker.
Well, I want to live my life with no facelift envy. I just want to live pure. I want to get at least 3 before I go.
I haven't even pondered a facelift.
Okay.
I have thought about, just some very basic, injectable stuff, but I haven't done it. I haven't had the heart, and I feel like it's so easy to get that wrong.
Yes.
But a facelift, I get it, because I've seen it now. I'm 48.
I
I'll be
know.
49 in November. I know that there's a looseness where there once wasn't.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about right here.
Me too.
And especially in this job, you're getting a side angle view of me all the time. God forbid I ever get on television.
All my clips these days, all I see is the looseness under my chin.
Same.
And I know that other people aren't seeing it, but this is all I see. Everyone's like, "This is so funny." I was like, how can you laugh when this loose flesh hangs beneath me?
Wait. So who's more vain, you or Hannah?
Oh, I'm 100% more vain.
On a scale of 1 to 10.
I get annoyed at Hannah's lack of vanity. Hannah and Hannah's mother and I.
Yes.
Both are like, "Hannah, could you please give a fuck a little bit more about what you look like, please?"
Oh God, it's my favorite thing about Hannah is she doesn't give a flying fuck. I want that energy in my life.
Listen, my parents were vain, man.
Mine too. My mom and dad look like Barbie and
Hannah
Ken.
actually
annoying.
Hannah asked my brother Aiden the other day, "Who was more vain, your father or your mother?" And we were like, they were both the same.
Twin flame vein mates.
Brutal. They were very good looking,
really?
my parents. But so this is
not
how
really
vain,
that they were good looking. That makes sense. You're good looking. Your brother? Don't even get me started on Aiden.
Oh, and I have another middle one that's even better looking than the two of us.
I can't believe it.
Anyway, so my mother, when I started getting zits, my mother was so obsessed with me not having zits
Yeah.
that if she thought that I went to bed without washing my face,
Oh my God.
I would be woken up like 12 at night. I'd be like, what's going on? My mother would be washing my face with a washcloth. I'm not kidding. She would wash my face in the bed.
No.
Like a nurse for the elderly. Like she would give me a bed wash.
A sponge bath.
Like
a face
at
sponge
midnight.
bath. Wow.
She'd be like, did you wash your face? I was like, no. Next thing she's washing my face.
Were you a pimply kid?
I had bad acne, but that was
You can't even see any of it.
That's when she
Now.
felt. Back then, she felt that she could win the war, but she didn't know that these were just the scouts.
Yeah.
The real army was on the way. So this is how vain my mom is. Okay.
I can't.
So I went to Ireland when I was 14. Right?
Yes.
We talked about all that the last
No.
time.
I really want to do it again, Des, because I feel like maybe there's new. Well, I know, not to brag. There's new people here. It's been a while. It's been a minute. It's been like 4 years. So let's give the background on Des. And honestly, I have a Swiss cheese brain. So for me, just real quick,
Just
okay?
a quick recap.
So like I said, one of my besties' hubbies, my wife is going to run off into the sunset with you. Not only do you have a symmetrical face, you are a hairless seal, which she loves.
Oh, yeah, I have a little bit of that dolphin. Ali Wong, we were
perfect.
joking about Ali Wong beforehand. She said that her first hub was like making love to a dolphin. I have a little bit of dolphin skin.
It's great. I touched your arm earlier. Ooh, it's nice.
Smooth. But I also moisturize.
What do you use? Hot take.
Come on, I'm a man. We don't care.
Any moisturizer?
Once it's unscented.
I'm gonna change your life, okay? I'm gonna get you Kiehl's
I
creme
think I'm
de
using
corps.
Eucerin at the moment. No, I use the oatmeal one.
That's nice.
The oatmeal.
No, Daddy, I'm gonna get you a nice treat, okay?
Okay.
Creme
Is it
de corps.
unscented?
Yes, it's unscented. I have it in the car. I'll show it to you.
Okay.
Anyway, it's so good that when I was gonna get a divorce, I was like, wait, if I can't afford Kiehl's, I can't get a divorce.
Oh, well, I'm a member of Equinox, so I know I like the Kiehl's.
There we go.
I'm a
Kiehl's
fan.
is-
But here's the problem.
Yeah.
Do you call it Equinox or Equinox?
I don't call it anything because I don't go to the gym.
Okay, well, Equinox or Equinox, depending on what part of the world
It's
you're from.
Equinox. It's Equinox.
Okay, so they stopped doing Kiehl's.
Cheap bitches.
And the new moisturizer is scented.
Disgusting and poor.
I just can't use it anymore. It's a very sad day in my life. I mean, I know
I'll get you.
these
I'll
are
hook you
first
up.
world problems, but okay.
So yeah, it's seal, smooth skin, a major threat with my wife. But to me, so when Hannah first came to me about you in the very beginning when you dated, I was team you so hardcore because she
without getting too into the details, yeah.
She said he
But
has
you
a
stuck
house.
up for me publicly.
He has a house in West Hampton.
Yes.
And
on the beach.
I said
Dune Road, I think, is more important.
I said that is zaddy energy. Okay. Then some ladies here with a book.
Oh, that's just a delivery. Oh, that's.
She actually didn't see us, which is a miracle because we're sitting right
which
here.
is amazing.
Well, who is she?
I
She a
have no
Jehovah's Witness?
I have no idea.
It
The
was
Gigglers
giving.
would say she's from my second family. But that's a running joke on Giggly Squad that I have a second family in Ireland.
Oh, is that your second wife?
Yeah, this is definitely my first wife. Because people always say Hannah is giving second wife energy.
LOL. Oh, so that was your first wife.
Yeah. Hannah gives second wife energy. No, I don't know. There's an issue with addresses sometimes, so it may have been like my neighbor just leaving a box.
Cute shorts
Anyway, can we
on.
stay focused?
Okay.
You got serious ADHD in your interviewing style.
I really do. Okay, wait. So anyway, as I was saying, Hannah's like, he has a house in West Hampton. I said, ooh, we love that zaddy energy. And then
Okay.
she said, and he has, Taylor, a BMW convertible. And I said, marry this man.
No.
He's giving rich. I love it.
Midlife crisis energy.
But then I found out, because I talked to Emma Willman, who is,
Oh.
love Emma Willman, fantastic comedian. And she said, do you know about Hannah Berner's new boyfriend, Des Bishop? I said, no. She said, girl, he is your favorite comedian's favorite fucking comedian. She said, this guy, you don't even know. He fucking learned Mandarin to go to China to perform, to do stand-up. You're brilliant. You're a savant.
Well, more importantly, I'm very close with Emma. So she was obviously
Look at, he's doing the Irish thing. He's rejecting the compliments.
Right, yeah, but did Emma ever tell you the story public? Did Emma ever go on record publicly about our connection?
She may have on the Taylor Strecker show.
I think it's been long enough that this isn't.
Go.
She during a maybe a struggle in her life.
Were you guys lovers?
No, she might have just. Anyway, I don't want to get her in trouble, but let's just say that she fell down a full flight of stairs right in front of
Oh,
me.
yes. Emma could definitely. Oh, I remember the story. Continue, please.
No, well, I watched her tumble in front of me, but it happened so fast I couldn't do anything about it. I was so powerless. But I think she's so rubbery that somehow she has the bone flexibility of like a 5-year-old girl.
She's like Gumby.
Yeah, and somehow she was fine. But I was there for her in that moment.
Were you her knight in shining armor?
Like I couldn't. It happened so fast I didn't catch her, but she literally flipped.
You were the Dingleberry.
Like I've never seen somebody fall down. I felt like people only fall down the stairs that way in the movies. Like I thought only stunt doubles fall down the stairs the way she fell down the stairs.
I cannot.
She did a full flip.
Emma.
She did a full flip down the stairs of the Comedy Cellar. So after that, then we were particularly close.
Particularly bonded.
It was like a moment of need for her. I was there.
Yes. Wait.
But she's awesome also.
But when did you start in comedy?
What? 1997.
19. So how old were you?
21.
What got you into this crazy business?
Oh, well, I was in Ireland then.
Okay.
So I was in college.
Right.
I did like performing.
So grew up in Brooklyn, Bronx.
Queens. You would have got there eventually.
You know that they said that Jersey City is the 6th borough?
Oh, I mean, Jersey City's basically a part of the city.
Thank you. Don't you think I should be able to audition for the Real Housewives reboot of New York City? I think that Jersey City, if Brooklyn counts, Jersey City should count as a real borough.
Yeah, or you could move if are they
Can't
asking
afford
you?
that? No, they're not asking me
Listen,
yet.
nobody gets on the Real Housewives with a sentence, I can't afford that. That's literally that's not the language that comes out of Housewives. The whole point is that you're
I'm dead.
loaded.
There's some poor ones now.
I understand, but they're pretending to be rich, or they're conning people.
Maybe I'm pretending to be poor.
Maybe you should go for New Jersey. I feel like they're about to go for some replacements.
I know, but I don't want to be New Jersey.
I highly recommend that you ask to be considered for New York. I don't think Jersey City should be an issue.
Thank you. Okay, thank you. So anyway, so you're from Brooklyn, Bronx, Queens.
I'm from Queens.
You're from Queens.
Right? I was in college, and actually, coincidentally enough, since I started by saying that I'm sober, a guy that I knew from recovery really encouraged me to get on stage. He was actually a comedian himself and was running a show there. And he was like, I really think you should try. And eventually he just basically like gave me 2 weeks. He kind of gave me no choice.
Okay.
But I didn't need that much arm twisting. And I did it that one time, and then that was the beginning of the journey.
Did you like your whole life people like you're funny, you're funny, you're funny?
Yeah, but but also like I knew that I liked to perform. I liked being the center of attention.
Were you in musicals growing up like me?
No, I was in musicals in boarding school in Wexford.
Really?
Yeah, I was in Paint Your Wagon. Hand me down that can of beans.
Oh, no kidding. Whoop-de-doo.
Clint Eastwood is in the movie version.
That's the name of the podcast.
Hand me down that can of beans. And then Percy French, The Golden Years. Yeah, I did that too.
I literally know none of these plays.
Well,
we are really not that far apart in age, Des.
You wouldn't know Percy French, The Golden Years. That's very Irish.
These are like vintage plays you're discussing.
Some of your listeners are going to know Paint Your Wagon.
Okay.
Okay, just so you know. But Percy French, The Golden Years, no, they're not going to know. They're not going to know.
So you go on stage, you just are a natural.
Do you want to hear how weird my boarding school was? Because you got to understand, Irish Catholicism. I went there at the tail end of the old school Ireland.
Okay.
Right? So I was at all-boys boarding school called St. Peter's College, Wexford. And then there was an all-girls school called Loretto Abbey. You know, convent. Mine was a seminary, right?
Yes,
so you could go on to train to be a priest there if you wanted. So they were so concerned about boys and girls mixing that our school musicals, the younger kids played women and the older men played men.
Say it again.
So it's all boys. So the young boys were in drag.
How Shakespearean.
Yeah, very Shakespearean.
Look at me. I know a thing or two.
400 years later.
Yeah.
Like the world had changed quite a bit since
Girls,
since the days where it had to be that way.
Girls can be in theater too.
Now, of course, I have no problem with men in drag, but I have a problem when they make boys do drag because they're so concerned about boys and girls mixing, God forbid. So, anyway. So those were the musicals with all boys. Okay. But I didn't go there till I was 14, so I was never in a situation where I had to be a woman in the musical.
Good for you.
Yeah. And then in the school play, one of them wasn't a musical, which was Philadelphia, Here I Come, which you also won't know, but a very famous Irish play by a
I am a theater nerd.
very famous Irish playwright, Brian Friel,
Okay.
one of the most successful Irish playwrights.
Okay.
But we're losing your audience now. It's getting very
I'm asleep.
useless English degree. I have a useless English degree from University College Cork.
So how do you get into comedy?
I just told you. The guy forced me to be on stage. No. So I did a gig in Cork, February of 1997.
Okay.
And I caught the bug. That's how I got into it.
Oh, damn. And
And
then
I even before I finished college, I was already working as a professional comedian.
and I heard from your wife, Hannah, that the girls were just, he was so famous, there weren't selfies. So instead, women would just like kiss you without your consent.
No. Come on. Jeez Louise. Hannah, what is she doing?
The girls would kiss you on the lips. They would just run up to you and smooch you.
No, but I like to actually make the point because sometimes men like to make these false equivalences
Okay.
about, because obviously sexual assault, harassment's a serious thing, right?
Yes.
So I make the joke about the difference between men and women, which is that I've actually been groped
Yes.
without consent.
On the penis?
So this is a 100% true story.
Okay.
Okay. I was in Limerick. It was after my first. At that stage now, I'm pretty famous in Ireland.
Yes.
Okay. Not a boast, but you need
No
to understand.
boast. Fucking
no,
do
but
it.
You need to understand that at this stage now, I'm very well known.
Yes.
I go into this nightclub, and it turns out that it's like a college night. And by the way, I'm not that
You were-
old.
He was the Taylor Swift of Ireland.
Well, but
Yes.
I'm not that old. I'm not that old myself. I'm still in my 20s.
Okay.
I go into this night. It turns out it's like college night. So it's like all drunken women there. And I literally get mobbed.
No.
Right? Like surrounded by like 20, 30 women.
Okay.
And at least 10 of them grabbed my cock.
No.
Like mobbed, right? At least 10 of them grabbed my cock.
Oh.
And when I tell the story sometimes on stage, I joke and I say, at least 10 of them grabbed my cock. Best night of my life. And I like to make the point that when men try to make this false equivalence about times they got groped, I was never under threat.
Yes. You were
Okay.
like, it was
And I'm not
fulfilling
saying
a
that
little
what
bit of a
they-
fantasy?
I'm not saying what they were doing was right. But what I am
Yes.
saying is like, I don't like when men make this false equivalence like, girls pinch my ass. And it's like, yeah, but you didn't feel unsafe.
Exactly.
You know?
You guys don't walk down the street with your fucking keys between your hands.
Yeah. So
You don't get into your apartment and literally have to crawl around knocking into shit so that somebody doesn't see your apartment for 15 minutes before you can turn on the lights.
Yeah. So, and I get it.
Right.
So, but I also don't tell that story in podcast. I'm surprised Hannah's telling that in that way.
She just told it to me privately.
Oh, I thought she said it on a podcast. That was a long time ago. I can tell you right now that was 2000. It was 2005.
She was saying like, my man used to get kissed on the lips. Like 5 mouths at a time.
I know.
Well, that's how I picture it now.
No. But they were, they were. I was young then too. You know?
Right.
I was a lot younger.
Yes. Yes.
So, and that was fun. All the attention
Of
was fun.
course.
I'm not gonna lie.
Okay, so then when are you like, I'm going to learn Mandarin to go to China? Just like, there are people who are comedians. Great. That is like fucking smart. Get so smart, I don't even have a smart enough word for it.
Getting to that though was a journey.
Okay.
So I won't bore you with the long journey, but the quick version of the journey was
Okay.
I had made a TV show about learning the Irish language. So I had already like established this thing of I'll learn a language to do stand up in that language.
Yes.
And in Ireland, everyone has to do Gaelic in school, so that had a lot of resonance with the Irish people.
Right.
But coincidentally enough, 08, nearly married. I don't know if I told you that before.
Okay.
But
What? That was one of my questions.
Oh yeah, so
Okay.
that broke up, right?
Okay, so
And-
you were this close to getting married.
But I was I was 6 weeks left of filming the Irish language series. We had a very tumultuous breakup, and then when the series finished and I sort of like processed all that, suddenly I was like, oh shit! Like I was about to have this other life,
Right.
and now my life is very open.
Right.
So I had a personal obsession with China and learning Chinese. I'd been to China, so I pitched, let's do what we did, but do it the Chinese version.
Damn.
But then it didn't happen until 2013 for tons of
5
reasons.
years.
Well, yeah, I couldn't get the money originally.
Yeah,
Then
but
my
also-
dad got sick, and I had to do all that.
Right.
Then when that all settled down, because that ended up being a whole other thing.
Right.
And then when that all settled down, a different production company came to me, and they were like, we do travel programs. And I said, listen, I'm not into doing travel programs.
Right.
I said, but I do have this thing that kind of got shelved.
Yes.
Do you want to take that on?
And?
And they did, and they got they got it done.
But when did you learn Mandarin? You're acting like that's easy.
So that was 2013.
But how long did it take you?
Well, the series was 1 year. I had 1 year to learn enough Mandarin to do stand-up in Mandarin. Sorry, that was the hook.
That's crazy.
That was the same hook with the Irish language show.
Got it.
1 year.
Yep.
Complete immersion.
Got it.
Lived with a family in the Gaeltacht in the Irish-speaking area.
Crazy.
And then when I went to China, I lived with a family in China.
Yeah.
Full immersion, 1 year to do. But
Say, hey, girl hated me in Mandarin. Say a little louder.
No, I'm actually that was me saying, geez, I have to have a think about like, hey, Noir, hey, like I it's kind of hard because like the A is like the same, you know what I mean? Like,
right.
Hey, kind of like A, like.
Okay, fine. Say, Taylor, you are so beautiful.
哇 ，Taylor， 你真的特别漂亮。
You're fucking
太漂亮了，真的。
Say.
No, go away.
Do the rest of the interview in the Mandarin. Okay, I'll stop.
Okay, fine.
Say.
And I actually said those things. I didn't say something.
You and your wife are my favorite lesbians.
你和你的Jesus.
Yeah, what's the word for lesbian?
你和你的老婆，你们是同性恋。同性恋
is lesbian?
同性恋 it actually means like the same sex love.
Oh, it sounds like licking a vagina.
同性恋 同性恋 你和你的老婆 I actually haven't spoken Mandarin, but so I had to get my Mandarin brain on. That was one of my jokes, which really I think is probably kind of like problematic. But I had this joke, because my name is B Hansheng, there's a fourth tone B, right? But the first tone B means cunt, right?
Oh yeah.
First tone, so that's a joke.
I know, I've seen this joke.
Yeah, but
explain
in Mandarin, but in Mandarin, I did that bit on television.
Yes.
But I couldn't. So I used to say I would always draw the fourth tone over the B in case I said it wrong. You'd know it was fourth tone. B Hansheng. So then I would say, Chinese people always thought that I was super camp, super gay, because I would be like, B Hansheng. But then when I watch back on that now, because that was 2013, 2014. When I watch back on that now, I go like, that's probably like borderline homophobic, that joke.
No way.
Well,
as a gay, I can speak for the whole community, and that's not homophobic at all.
Well,
because
it's playing on the whole like camp thing, which like I don't know if it's a straight guy's place to do that, but at the time
I give you a gay pass for that.
Okay, but at
You're
the time
welcome.
I used to say, 他们觉得我是同性恋. They think that I'm really gay because I go like 比韩生. But that's just anyway. Listen, my language was so limited that I did have to rely on the physical quite a bit. But they do respond well to physical comedy in China, and they responded well to my big energy.
Yes.
Because it's a very Western energy, but I'm speaking Mandarin. So even though my Mandarin was kind of poor by their standards,
right,
my performance energy was so unique to them.
Yes.
Actually, it was a little easier. People are like, how did you do it? But actually, I thought it was easier than I thought it was going to be to make them laugh. Yeah.
Is there any other language that you would want to learn and go do that?
I pitched Arabic afterwards.
Shut the fuck up,
I could never get it off the
Des.
ground. Actually, Sharon Horgan. Do you know who Sharon Horgan is?
No. But that's a me
Did you
problem.
ever watch Catastrophe?
No.
Great series, Catastrophe. Did you ever watch Divorce with Sarah Jessica Parker?
Yes, I did.
Okay, so she wrote that. Sharon Horgan wrote that.
What a great show.
And actually, she was a big fan of
SJP?
Breaking China. No, she was a big fan of my China stuff.
The writer.
She came to see the live show.
Yes.
And so she actually tried to help me get an Arabic version off the ground, but we just didn't get it off the ground. And that wasn't her fault.
Right.
It's just it wasn't the easiest thing to pitch.
That's just the industry.
Yeah, but also I didn't want to do it just for Irish TV because Irish TV, the pitch is Des Bishop, who you all know, learns Mandarin. But I wanted to do it for international TV, which is Irish-American comedian you've never heard of, wants to learn Arabic, very sensitive subject, and make jokes about it. So obviously, people that know me know that I know how to do the right type of humor for the situation.
In a respectful way.
But
white
guy with a Queen's accent wants to learn Arabic. It just smells of problematic.
I get it.
When they don't know you or they don't have a track record to trust you.
Yes.
So it didn't get off the ground, and that's fine. But particularly then, because without getting too serious, there was a lot of Islamophobia then. ISIS was still very active.
That's a very good point.
And I wanted to point out that the majority of this world, this Arab world that you think of, which is, by the way, pan-continental and huge and like multicultural within itself.
Yes.
I wanted to show just everyday life, same as with the China project.
Right.
People being funny, people being themselves. and just do that. It wasn't going to be propaganda for the Arab world, but it
No.
was going to show that like a lot of this culture is being demonized in a way that's like not fair.
Exactly.
Particularly then.
Particularly then.
Thank God, actually, the Islamophobia has backed off a bit.
Yeah.
You know, because ISIS has not been active. So
Except at Hannah's show.
yeah, because Hannah had the ISIS girl, which is a great.
Her name is Isis.
Yes.
And Hannah had some brilliant jokes on her special. If you haven't watched it, watch it. We Ride at Dawn. That shit. I told you, you queefed me was my, I think, to date, my favorite joke I've ever heard in my entire life.
You
but
queefed me.
I didn't queef. You queefed me. You queef Hannah all the time.
I don't know what this says about the size of my penis, but I don't think I'm the main queefer in her bit, to be honest with you.
Oh, you're not the guilty queefy party.
I don't think
you're
I'm
not
the
the
big,
queefer.
I'm the big queefer.
The number one queefer she's experienced. You just moved away from me.
No, because I was thinking of a funny story that I can't tell because Hannah doesn't like when I talk about things with other girls when we're podcasting together.
Okay.
Right.
Yes.
But so I tried to tell the story once she got uncomfortable. But I was once with a woman who had uncontrollable queefing.
No.
When going down on her.
No.
Yeah. She just couldn't stop. Is that too much?
No. Keep going. No, it's great.
But it was so odd because before we started recording, Taylor had drank a San Pellegrino and was belching. She was very paranoid about your belch.
Yes.
But her queef was odorless.
Yes.
But it's still disconcerting to just be queefed on. So it's
how many times did she queef in one session?
A lot of she said, "I'm sorry, I just can't stop."
I've got a lot of gas. I had a lot of San Pellegrino today.
She just queefs. She was just a lot of queefing. But I wasn't queefing her. This was oral. Can you point out? Do you establish your producer in the show?
She's hiding in the fridge because she's scared of laughing. Is that too much? No, she's trying not to laugh out loud. Is what's happening.
Oh right, okay, yeah. Anyway,
or maybe she. Well, I think she's gonna go hide in the walls with Butters.
I was. This was in Australia, by the way. This was Australian queefing. So I was down under. I was down under, and I was getting queefed on. And it was very funny. But eventually I just kind of it didn't bother me for a while, but then eventually I couldn't keep my focus because I was just waiting for the next queef. It was like an oxygen tank.
You and Hannah, you guys, I mean, I was there with a front row seat to your relationship beginning, but I kind of actually don't remember how it all shook out. How did you guys, where'd you meet? Was it a dating site?
It's complicated, right? Because you have this world where Hannah was doing reality TV right when we met. So it gets confused with the fake reality TV versus the reality of what happened.
Too fucking shay.
And all that was so unfortunate because they tried to make it seem like there was some controversy, but there wasn't. Because as you know, Hannah was on your podcast talking openly.
Yes.
She was on Call Her Daddy talking openly. So there was nobody keeping secrets.
Right,
So
exactly.
So what happened was, first of all, I did not know what Summer House was, but I did follow Hannah at some stage, I think from Nikki Glazer's story.
That would make sense because her and Nikki were friends, are friends. Yes.
Yeah, but they had this time where they were hanging out a lot.
So Hannah was getting into comedy before you guys got together.
Yeah. No, Hannah had Hannah has told her story many times about how she got into comedy. But so without repeating her story, she was established as somebody that was breaking into comedy.
In the scene. Yes, totally.
And to the point where she was on Nikki's podcast and they had become friendly. And I guess at some stage, I have a vague recollection, I think she was in the car with Nikki, but I just followed her literally just cute comic. It wasn't even I need to talk to this comic. It was just cute comic, follow.
Of course.
No follow up, just click.
Yes.
Didn't pay any attention to her following me back or anything, but she would pop up in my algorithm. And I did notice hot tub scenes and stuff like that from this show she was on, which honestly to me, I literally thought it was an MTV show.
Right.
I did not know what Summer House was. And oddly enough, I didn't even know about Bravo as a network. Because you got to understand, most of my life was in Ireland.
Yes.
So I wasn't aware that I knew about the Housewives, as a franchise, a famous franchise, but I didn't even know that that was all Bravo.
I totally believe you because as somebody who is very obsessed and has watched for years Bravo, I have encountered a lot of people that are what are you talking about? And actually, a lot of people make me feel like it's a guilty pleasure. Ew. Like,
And, like, my
don't speak loudly about that obsession. So no. It's definitely niche. It feels like it's everywhere, but it's actually quite niche.
And I had a friend, a kid from my neighborhood. I grew up with, Scott and Evans. He's gay, and he was like on a Bravo show for a while. I'm like, I knew Bravo was a thing, but I didn't realize Bravo like had all this like reality was like their niche. Anyway,
right.
So then the pandemic comes around,
Yeah.
and Hannah's videos of like isolating with her parents are popping up on my.
Yes.
Like Hannah was in my algorithm.
Yes.
Like the Weekend. Remember the song that she did it with her family.
Yes.
And so I was seeing that stuff. So then I was just like aware of her big time. And then the famous day where Luann, the Lessups, came out to Shelter Island to have lunch with Hannah.
Right.
But this was the first time that she put a location. So they put the...
How do I not know the story?
Wherever they were. I can't remember.
Dying. Yes.
So
Let's say they were at Sunset Beach. Let's give a shout out to Sunset Beach.
Yeah, I can't remember which place, but...
It must have been... That's the spot.
But
yes.
I clicked it and I saw... or the location said Shelter Island.
Okay.
So I was out in West Hampton because I had got the hell out of Ireland because I was like, if I'm going to be locked down, I want to be locked down by the beach.
Shut the fuck up. Okay, go.
So I came back to Dune Road and I was like, oh, Shelter Island. And so then I said, let me see if she follows me. And she was following me, which I didn't know.
You shut the fuck up.
I didn't know. So when I saw she was following me.
You're like, game on.
Well, I just confidently said, hey, are you out east? She said, yeah. I said, I'm in West Hampton. Do you want to meet for coffee in Sag Harbor? She was like, yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, I'll meet you Saturday. And she said, well, I'm out in Shelter Island. Can you pick me up from the ferry? And I picked her up from the ferry. I think it was a Saturday. So that was our first date.
And?
But she was going into Summer House 2.5 weeks later.
I remember because she fucking called me and was like, I met this guy. Wait, like everybody knows that you guys like had sex that first.
Second.
Second.
That was my fault, actually. Of all the... because the Summer House stuff is so I don't talk about the Summer House stuff because
I know.
it's so far removed from the experience that I had that I don't like talking about it because then everyone tries to say that you're like full of shit. Right. So I don't talk about it, but I know the experience that I had and I also know the truth of everything that went down. So,
literally.
So anyway, one of the mistakes that I was very like annoyed at myself about because I didn't like when I say I didn't understand Bravo,
right?
I really mean it.
No, I get it.
Hannah and I we had like a silliness together, which was an immediate connection.
Well, you're both comedians,
but like it just a lot of that stuff just taken out of context can be so bad, and like I just had no idea how careful you need to be.
Right.
Like really,
how things are gonna get taken out of context.
Well, yeah, and I mean like I was loose as a goose having the time of my life in there.
Yes.
So. One of the things that I regret because Hannah and I just that was our running joke.
Yes.
That we didn't kiss on the first date.
Yes.
Because she was going into Summer House and they were on very strict COVID protocols.
Yes.
Very strict.
Like no joke.
So we didn't kiss for that reason.
Right.
And then the second date, she saw I had a house at the beach and we had sex, which was literally like a running joke.
Yes.
The problem was that we definitely liked each other.
Yeah.
And I was very aware of...
I told her...
I was aware of all her other things that were going on. Acutely aware.
Yes. I told her, by the way, you're going to marry this man.
But I knew I was going to marry her.
Oh, damn!
No, but I knew. You can ask my neighbor, the woman that bought those sunflowers that are dying right now, but they were from last week, Pam Autorino.
Yeah.
I told her I'm going to marry her. I knew.
How'd you know?
I just knew.
You just knew.
Well, I was also running out of time. The clock was ticking. I was like, she'll do. That was another joke. Another joke of Sharon Horgan's was she always says, women are always looking for the perfect guy, whereas men, it's just like if you happen to be next to him at the time he decides he's done, he'll marry you. But that's not true. But that's a funny joke. Funny joke, not true. Not what happened.
We're joking.
Yeah.
God.
So anyway, so I was pretty. But anyway, we had 2 more dates after that.
Okay.
And, it's so funny because the producers were on and I distinctly remember the producer going, please don't tell me you're exclusive on the fucking speakerphone. Please don't tell me you're exclusive. So everybody knew about me everybody, by the way, everybody. Just so you know.
Yes.
Everybody knew.
I know.
About me. But I said, Hannah, go in there, do your thing, and we'll reconvene on the way out. The problem was that, she went in there. I'm not going to speak for anything that went on in there.
Yes.
But let's just say that like we had a few dates and she went in there. But
Yes.
the connection, I can distinctly remember. I can tell you now exactly because so she goes in there and I'm coming up the 18th fairway at Hampton Hills.
Yeah.
And I had been waiting to like hear from her because, you know, now she's in there. She's
Right?
in this crazy world.
Oh my God. And like, I feel like you can't just like call on a whim. Like you're filming and you have to like wait for breaks to actually like talk to people on the outside,
Yeah.
right?
But I remember she called and
Was your heart like just
You know what? I
fluttering?
answered the phone on the 18th fairway and I said, I gotta be honest with you. Like I fucking miss you. Like I didn't realize that it was gonna be like this. So that you know the relationship evolved virtually when she was
Yeah.
when she was in the house.
How long after did you guys get engaged? So 6 months?
Yeah. So that was August of 2020.
Right.
No, but what happened was the whole relationship evolved while she was in the house. Closer,
Of course.
closer.
Feelings are feelings. The heart wants what the heart wants.
You know, we go in and I went in, saw her for 3 days, left, came back a week later, picked her up. And honestly, she kind of moved in pretty quick
I remember. Yeah.
because it was COVID.
Yeah. COVID fast forwarded everything for everyone. It either was the great determiner of like you breaking up or just being like, fuck it, we're going to be together forever. Because you're basically living with people,
Yeah.
which is like it takes a long time to get there. But under COVID restrictions, it just made more sense to just kind of lock down with each other.
Yeah, so she moved in pretty quick. And then, you know, it just went fast
Yeah.
after that. And it was fine.
She was the one. You like a girl with a sexy ass booty who
Well,
loves
it's funny 'cause
tennis.
we're married now. Now we just have our life together.
Yeah.
So like all the not that romance is dead, but
Right.
it's just such a different time.
I know.
It's
Trust.
like it's
know.
just- it's so funny to think back to like, you know, people are like, is she the one? And you know, Joanne McNally, a great Irish comedian, she was doing a podcast with me at that time. Like, she was just getting such a pain in her hole, as we say in Ireland, listening to me
What's a
going
pain
on
in the
about
hole mean?
just like she was sick of listening to me going on about this new relationship, and
Yeah.
I was like besotted.
You were
and-
obsessed.
Yeah.
Well, the funny thing is, Hannah's always like, ew, Dad, stop being so nice to me. Be mean to me. I like when you're like a
Yeah, well, she got that in the end.
nasty daddy.
Everything levels out.
But it's so funny because you really are a mush. You made me a sandwich when we were here. You love me.
Well, you know, I was trying to be a
love
good host. Let's
Whatever.
just say.
Way to just take all the wind out of myself, Des.
Let's just say, in a partnership, everyone has to cover their end, and I did not marry a host. let's put it.
Oh, L.
Yay or nay?
Yay.
I did not marry a natural host. On stage, natural MC.
Yes. At home.
When the guests come over, help please.
Yeah, you might need to get full-time help. Wait. So are you guys going to have kids or what?
Well, she wants to have kids, yeah.
I know. Same with mine.
All right, yeah. Well, you know, it's fine. That's. I'll leave that conversation for Hannah.
Yeah, I know.
You know, but
What kind of a dad will you be?
we were joking recently, and you know, because Hannah was like, you know, because she had a lot of pressure in sport, right?
Yes.
So she was talking about like, oh, you know, I can't remember the context, but I was just like, I hate to admit it, but I know that I'm gonna have way too much ability to be disappointed in my child. You know, like I'm gonna try to hide it, but I know they're gonna feel it. And I wish that wasn't the case, but
So, you know, we obviously, because we're both women, we could like each have our own babies with our own eggs kind of a thing.
Yes.
And same sperm donor. So I was like, you know what? I forego me. Let's just do you. And everybody's like, no, you're going to have hers. You don't want one of yours, blah, blah. And I was like, I don't think you understand how mean I am to myself. Like the way I will be so mean to mine versus I will love hers and mine. I'll be like, you're not good enough.
yeah, but you
Sit up straight.
Well,
Look at
my
those knees. I'll be so mean and critical.
The
So I
knees.
can't. The knees.
Well, I've heard people talking about knees before. People can like obsess about their.
I am obsessed
bad
with
knees.
hating my knees. I hate my knees. I hate my unborn child's knees. So I don't even want them.
So,
Can't even have them.
so I have to say that because some lesbian friends of mine that
Yeah.
have kids, it doesn't not feel like yours though. That's
That's the good news.
the good
That's
news.
what the people tell me. The lesbians on the street say.
But you know that I wrote like a sitcom.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it didn't get picked up, but I wrote one with my comedian friend of mine, Ursula Carlson, she's South African, but she lives in New Zealand. It was called Uncle Dad, and it was about a lesbian couple that used the brother.
Stop. This is what I literally wanted to do with my brother. I wanted my brother Zach to be our sperm donor, and that way the baby could be
genetically connected to both.
And it would be like my daughter or son, niece or nephew. But then I was like, but it will be Zach's daddy uncle. Yeah, he'll be daddy uncle.
Yeah, Uncle Dad.
Uncle Dad.
Yeah, so it didn't get picked up, but I did like that conundrum of
it's a good
genetic connection.
Yes.
But then you have the boundary issue.
Well, then it gets when my brother first met Tay, he was like upset. And I was like, what's up? Like, I know he's not homophobic. And I like walked him out of my apartment. He like spent like a night at my place, but she was living with me because lesbians. And I walked him out and he was like, it's not really fair. And I was like, what? And he's like, you've been into chicks for like 6 months and you've already pulled the hottest girl that I've ever seen in my life. It's not fair. And I was like, okay, so you're in love with my wife, or at the time girlfriend. And then I thought, God, if they have offspring, he's going to really fall in love with her.
Yeah.
So like we need to cut this off at the pass. You know what I mean?
And part of that story, because myself and Ursula are very close. We have like a bromance, right? Which obviously she's a woman, but the vibe of the story was that the bromance on top of the fact that I was donating the sperm to her, right, was like an issue for my sister.
Yes.
And the humor, a lot of the humor was very inappropriate in that, like, Ursula's like lesbian banter and my straight guy banter was too in unison.
Wait, but like, was there like an undertone of like, will they, won't they? Or like, no, it was like growing out.
I wouldn't want that. Now, I would say like if a network had gotten involved, that there would be this push for a will they, won't they? But that was never our intention. You
just were like, we're going to go to the strip club together, like growing.
There was a scene where we went to the strip club together. but that's based on true story. Because we did actually go to a strip club together, me and Ursula.
And?
It was hilarious because, like, very attractive lap dancer was giving both of us a lap dance together.
Ooh, a twin flame lap dance.
Yeah, and but we were just chatting, the three of us, because the whole thing was so fucking hilarious. And Ursula at one stage was just like, I guess this is a little weird.
Wait. So you know what's so funny is, so I'm like famously terrible at strip clubs. Like I'm like, no, girl, let's go. Let's run away from here. Like I'm like really like on my feminist bandwagon there.
Yes, yeah.
I'm like the worst kind, okay? But it's so funny because I always say I'm not a lesbian. And when we were together for the 4th, Tez was like, out of the blue, he's like, wait a second, Strecker? I just figured out Strecker. Strecker is actually not a lesbian. Strecker is a straight girl who fell in love with Donahue.
Yeah.
Because, thank you for seeing me for who I am.
Because she's great. Everyone
everyone falls in love with her. You think I'm in trouble?
No, I mean, I think it's fine.
You think someone's going to try to steal her from me?
I think it's nice when people desire your wife.
I agree, but I'm also psychotically jealous.
Especially because it seems to be men. that's you're really in safe space.
No, you'd be surprised.
Oh, really?
All these straight bitches, slut whores out here trying to get with my girl.
Right. Well, if you ever want, listen, you guys. I don't know how broad your guys' sexual life is.
Not very monogamous. Thank you.
So anyway, yeah.
Anyway, thank you for seeing me as a straight person. It really means the world to me.
No, that was just like a funny thing me and Jared were talking about. We were saying like, I think she's not gay. I think she just loves Taylor, which is which we get.
Yes. No, for the way I'm saying
Taylor's like one of the guys.
Yes, isn't she? I know. It's so crazy. It's so like because people.
You want to go watch football and wings with Taylor?
Literally.
I don't actually do that.
Like I have a husband.
Yes.
That has a vagina.
Yeah.
And it's wonderful. Yeah. I love it so much. Thank you for getting it. Because so many people are like, oh.
You have a Scandinavian. I know she's not Scandinavian, but she looks it.
She looks it. She's Irish.
Yes. Donahue.
I know. Well, anyway.
Is that what else did you need to cover?
I wanted to talk about you and Hannah having sex in front of Delilah the dog.
Come on. In front of who?
Delilah the dog.
Oh, that was funny. That was
Delilah.
What's Delilah again? What kind of dog?
She is a Shih Tzu.
A Shih Tzu.
And she is a licker of the feet. Did she lick your feet? Because maybe she's a lesbian.
Well, she was licking us. We were trying to have sex, and she was licking us because. So we had a lot of people over the house for the whole weekend. It was like a lot.
Did you have fun?
No, that was a great weekend.
Wait, you said no, comma. Did you have fun?
No, I had a great time.
Why do you keep saying no first? It's
No,
yes.
no, like, sorry, no, because you brought it up in a way that I thought it sounded like I said I was complaining.
You know what? Hit dogs holler, okay?
No, that weekend was
kidding.
awesome, but we had a lot of people here from Wednesday. So next thing it was like,
a lot.
and we were apart a lot,
Yeah.
Hannah and I.
Yes.
So suddenly it was like, we haven't been on our own for ages, and you guys were mad keen to go on a bender.
Oh, we were like our last night. We're like, we're going out.
So that was the Friday night of the 4th of July
Hampton?
weekend. You went to Dockers, but you wanted to go to John Scott's.
John Scott's, the fucking line. I still want to go to John
So
Scott's.
you guys
FYI.
were like you wanted to go on a mad one, and Hannah and I were kind of like done.
Yeah, and you guys,
Not done with you guys, but just like socially.
No, I get it. Your social battery. And also, like you said, you are sober 29 years.
Today.
And we're drunk and slobs. Like, were we annoying? Don't lie.
No. Not at all. But like the thought of continuing to sit there at Dockers and drinking was like, we were just done, which was fine.
Yes.
Everybody was like, everybody was in unison on that decision.
Absolutely.
Also, it meant that we could get back and just have the house to ourselves for the first
Which
time
is nice.
since Wednesday.
Of course.
But all our other friends had brought their Shih Tzu, who it turns out is just not comfortable not being involved with whatever you're doing.
Delilah.
And Delilah was really trying to get involved with the lovemaking. To the point where it was just like weird because she was like licking Hannah, and Hannah was like, "Are we having a threesome with the fucking dog?" So, and then I put her down off the bed, but she was like barking, and I couldn't concentrate. I was like, to the point where it was like affecting my virility.
I got
So I was like, Hannah, the dog's going outside. So I got rid of the dog, and we sort of reset. That was the joke. I said, Delilah's looking up, going, "Hey, that's my style." But it's a dumb joke, but it has to be. It's like, how often do you get a chance to make that?
Never. It's so good.
Yeah.
Kay and I were babysitting our nephew dog, and we were getting it on, and he jumped on the bed too, and we were like, "Oh, get off of here, Brinkley!" And then the next thing you know, he started throwing up because he is homophobic.
Oh my God, he was disgusted. What was the name of the dog? Tucker.
Brinkley.
Tucker, get out of the room.
Nice one.
That's what we do.
Des, I'm obsessed with you. I love you so much.
Oh, come on.
No, it's true. I really do. And I really feel like the 4th really bonded us. And thank you guys for hosting. I know that Hannah's not good at clearing dishes, but you guys are great hosts in terms of like throwing a good time.
Oh, yeah, we had a good time.
Let me say
the
that.
company helps. The company helps.
It was a good crew.
Jared Fried helped.
Jared
Fried, late
Fried.
edition, just randomly had a show in West Hampton.
Honestly, MVP. Really for the win. He was great.
Yeah, I wouldn't have been able to do it without Jared just because like I was able. I need to dip out sometimes when people are drinking.
I know.
Like I'm not. I never want to be a killjoy.
No, you're
but
not.
sometimes I just need a break.
I get it.
And the good news is that Jared never needed a break.
Ever.
So like
he's like the fucking Energizer Bunny.
Yeah, he just keeps it going.
Yeah.
As he said, he's the glue.
He is.
So yeah, it worked out. It's great when it works out like that.
I know.
The worst is when it doesn't, and like somebody's killing the vibe, or just people aren't gelling. That is the worst.
I have to say.
Like, it was never like when everybody left. It was like, oh, thank God they're gone. Like, I just was like happy to take a breather, but like
Right.
I never like needed everybody to go.
Exactly. I will say this. Hannah, like even her bachelorette party, I was very nervous going to that because I didn't really know
and that
anybody
worked
that
out.
well. Oh, what a time. You guys are really good at like bringing the peoples together.
Well,
nice.
It's not, you know what? It's not that we're good at bringing people together. It's just that
You got
we're
good people.
The people are good. It's really about the people being good.
You keep it tight.
Well, just get lucky. I mean, at the end of the day, you connect with who you connect with. And also,
Ain't that the truth?
in fairness to both of us, I think.
Yes.
And I think to you guys also.
Thank you.
As much as I love my job and I love the industry and I'm ambitious and Hannah's very ambitious.
Yes.
We don't love connections to advance our career that then leak over into the personal.
Yes.
Because I find that sometimes can be a bit hollow.
Yeah. Surface.
Exhausting.
Shallow. Yes.
And I have plenty of friends that's their focus, and I'm not judging them on it. All I know is that it's not for me.
It ain't for me either. I'm not cut from that elk.
I just need the vibe. I need the crack.
Me
See,
too.
in Irish people, in Ireland, we call it the crack.
The crack.
The crack is just like the energy that we were feeling all weekend.
Yeah.
But the crack is sacred.
The crack is sacred.
And if you try to mesh the crack with like your ambitions and trying to advance your career based on relationships, it puts a crack in the crack.
Say crack
And
one more time.
We get crack in the crack, but we can't have that. We can't have that.
No.
So that's why there's a good gel there.
It was good. I think we should make it like, I don't know,
An annual.
more.
I
Buy.
can tell you next year we're definitely getting some
Try.
help. We're getting like a caterer.
Yeah. I think
I would
that's a good
say
idea.
I'm going to get a caterer for next year.
Yeah. You don't have to
But
be
you know what happens too is like
making me endless sandwiches.
these things always take on a life of their own. Like I used to do a cousin's party, and it's great, and I love my cousins. But like every year what happens is it starts to get bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
And then like eventually you're just like, wow, this is like a fucking job.
I know.
So once it becomes an annual, then it tends to grow out of proportion.
We could also we could have as guests, I don't know, helped a little bit more.
No, you guys were very helpful.
No.
This is not a roundabout way.
Dave was helpful.
Dave was.
Jared was helpful. You've never found more girls who refuse to get into the kitchen.
There was a little bit of, I felt like maybe some women trying to make some points.
We were in protest.
Yeah.
That's
Whereas
what that
I
was
wasn't
about.
thinking it was feminist. I was thinking it was just rude.
It's just laziness. Just complete laziness.
No, it's fine. Well, with Hannah, I'd rather her not because she's just not good at it.
Well, that's a trick that people do.
Well, she said, but if you see
I
her
don't know
mother,
how to do the dishwasher.
Yeah.
I do it so bad. I break it every time. That's what my wife does.
Well,
And it works like a charm.
Hannah's mom is very good at that. She's like a natural
Right. So Hannah didn't have to.
looker after.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And my mother, I have to say, was good at it, but not without
Zit-cream.
incredible amounts of stress. So I actually think I have a lot of PTSD with all that stuff. So sometimes I'm just like, if I don't do, I can't. A lot of emotions come up.
I feel you. No, we'll have a therapy
That'll be
session
our
about
next
it.
step.
Oh, I am in. Childhood trauma. Loves it. It's my favorite. Oh, man, Des,
So
you're
that's
the
it,
best.
right?
Yeah, that's it. You're the best. I just love you to bits and pieces. You guys follow Des on all the things, right?
All the things.
So Instagram,
That's the
at
main one, at Des Bishop.
Des Bishop. Are you on the TikTok?
Des Bishop 5. 5 Des Bishops before me.
Okay.
I'm the only white one, just so you know. And then
your podcast.
Hannah and I have a podcast
Yes.
about Burner Phone.
Yes, Burner Phone. New episodes out
Yeah, there's a new one just now.
every what day?
I'd like to tell you that it.
One day out of the week, there's an episode.
Yeah, unfortunately, we haven't been great on that. But there's been a lot going on.
You guys have been a little bit busy.
Well, yeah, particularly Hannah, in fairness.
Yes.
Come see my show. I have a load of shows.
Amazing. Where can people find all the info?
Oh my God, so many.
Are you gonna be in the city soon? I want to come.
Oh yeah, I'm about to do a show in the Gramercy Theater. I'm about to
Fuck yes,
put the
Des.
date up.
Amazing.
Yeah,
By the
so-
time this comes out, there probably will be a date.
Yeah, come and check it out. A lot of my clips did well lately with my boomer humor. So
Love it.
if you want to see some of my fresh boomer humor,
I loves it. Boomers. I love a boomer. Let me tell
I'm
you.
not a boomer, but boomer humor is a nice term, and I'm a big fan of the nostalgia.
Me too.
I've gotten a lot of comedic mileage out of the, back in the day material.
I loves it.
Yeah.
Anyway, you guys, that is it for us. Have a great rest of your week. You know, I always say it. Make sure to rate, review, and subscribe. It means the world to us podcasters. It's like tipping your bartender. And you wouldn't not tip your bartender. Now, would you? Okay, thank you. I bullied you enough. You guys, that's it for us. Have a great rest of your week. Until next week, bye, girl, bye.